Folks, the old soldier coming at you again. Second time today. This one's a little unexpected, but here's what I'm going to say. If you want to wear a mask because you think that's going to protect you and be protected, go right ahead. Here in the state of North Carolina, our worthless governor, Roy Boy Pooper Scooper Cooper, issued an executive order basically mandating everybody wear a mask everywhere they go in public. However, because his executive order was unconstitutional to begin with, he had to put a clause in there: if you have a medical condition precludes you from wearing one, you don't have to. And no one can ask you why. So I have a medical condition, and I'm allergic to communistic, tyranny of a communistic leader by the name of Roy Boy Pooper Scooper Cooper, among other things. The fact that I also have chronic sinusitis, mask aggravates that, okay? I don't have to tell you this, don't even have to explain it, but I choose to because I just left Food Line where I shop. And the number of sheep, or sheeple as people call it, amazed me. On top of the fact people staring at me and my wife because we weren't wearing a mask. Okay? Again, if you feel the need to put one on because you think it's going to protect you from them and them from you, go right ahead. You have every right to do so. But don't stare at me because I choose not to comply because I believe the masks are not exactly all that in a bag of sugar either. Okay? Half the medical profession says the masks are a good idea, the other half says they're worthless. So you be your own judge. But don't judge me for not wearing. I'm a little peeved because, like I said, as I'm loading my groceries in the car, some old lady and her husband drove by and she's staring at me with the evil eye like I, stepped on her pet Airedale or something. And I don't appreciate it, but I didn't say nothing. But I'm about to the point that when people start staring, I'm just going to look at them. You think I'm sexy or something? Want to go home with me? Because honestly, my opinion, because that is what it is, I'm not a medical professional, but my opinion of it is this: if you're sick with the flu, the common cold, COVID, then put a mask on if you're going out in public. If you don't have any of those, don't put one on. So don't think you're going to be protected. And I don't think you're protecting anybody. My opinion. But if you feel the need, put one on. Now, I wear one when I have to go see my doctor because they mandate it. They will not see me unless I'm wearing one. That's the only place that I fall into compliance with wearing a stupid mask. And here lately what I do is I wear one of them nylon face shields because I can breathe through it. These paper masks fog up my darn glasses. And again, the paper mask that people are wearing, right on the box of many of them, it clearly states, will not protect you from COVID. So if it won't protect you from it, how is it protecting others from you? But anyway, and I know some of y'all that watch my channel, y'all live in other states and your governors have different mandates. And I know in some places, they're telling people that if you ain't wearing one, Casey on, forgive me. I must have walked too hard today. But in some places, if you're not wearing one, you could be subject to being arrested or fined or both. In the city of Chattanooga, where me and Mrs. Old Soldier grew up, I called my best friend yesterday. We talked a good long time. He said, yeah, the city mandated an ordinance, but the chief of police turned around and said, I got better things to be doing than trying to write people tickets for not wearing a mask. So my officers have been instructed not to enforce it. Finally, some common sense prevails. But their mayor in Chattanooga's a pansy, so he's playing along with the mob rule and mob mentality. The biggest, best medical advice that I've heard the whole time this thing started is wash your dadgum hands. And what me and Mrs. Old Soldier, matter of fact, everywhere we go, we take these with us. Why? They got soap in them. Wash your hands, Mrs. Old Soldier. And you take these baby wipes and you wash your hands all the way up to your wrist, to include your fingers, and all that good horse mess that the doctor said to do with warm soapy water. Why? Because I don't have warm soapy water in the vehicle, so I can use these. And they're telling us that washing your hands with soap and water is better than using hand sanitizer, because the hand sanitizer probably doesn't kill the virus.
They have got sick.
So we take these with us everywhere we go. Now, I will tell you, we have made 2 round trips to Atlanta and back since this whole mess began. 1 to Augusta, Georgia and back since this whole thing began. We've gone all over town multiple times. I mean, not any more so than we normally would. We've kind of restricted some of our movements. But the whole point is, we haven't worn a mask any darn place we've gone. And she and I ain't sick, and both of us got compromised immune systems. Now, not compromised to the extent of, the elderly and the frail, but she has fibromyalgia. I've got Gulf War syndrome. At least that's what some doctors call it. Chronic fatigue and chronic pain syndrome. But I also have the remnants of what's called the Epstein-Barr virus in my blood.
Asthma?
And my wife's also got asthma. But my body will attack that dead virus in my blood every so often. Matter of fact, this winter I had a rough spell of it. If you go back and look at my videos, there were days that I was just dragging, like somebody had just pounded the sand out of me. And it was because my body was fighting this dead virus. And what happens is it causes my muscles to get fatigued, sore, and causes my joints to hurt. Okay. And maybe because of that I've got some weird special immunity. I don't know. All I'm saying is I'm not going to live in fear, and neither should you. But if you feel the need, then do so. I will not judge otherwise. If you're doing what you think is best for you, by all means. But don't stare at me like I'm got antlers growing out of my forehead, or or like I stepped on your pet Airedale. Anything of that nature. That kind of aggravates me, and I'm about to start going off on people. The governor stated if you got a medical reason not to wear one, you ain't got to wear it. And I wouldn't be surprised what some people like myself that aren't wearing it haven't been questioned when they go places. And that's the other part of his mandate. You can't be asked about your medical condition. All you get to, I got a medical condition. That ought to be the end of the discussion. But I love how people stare. Next time it happens, I'm probably going to go off with some poor fool. Anyway, folks, I didn't mean to rant and rave too much on this, but I just had to get that off my chest. So I figured, why not share it with you folks? Tell me what you think in the comments. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. If I'm right, tell me I'm right. If you think that I ought to do what I do and you do what you do, tell me that. But other than that, God bless, take care, and until tomorrow, old soldier out.